Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really interesting journey back in time. We're going to explore some ancient wisdom that honestly feels incredibly relevant today.
Yeah, we're looking at insights into, human potential, real inner mastery, drawn from some maybe unexpected sources.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Our deep dive is into excerpts from the Bhikkhusaṃyutta, that's the connected discourses with monks. Specifically, the first section, Paṭhamo vaggo.
mm-hmm. And these are like direct encounters. You get a real sense, a rare glimpse into that early Buddhist community.
And our goal here, our mission for this deep dive, it's really about uncovering the, well, often surprising qualities, the quiet struggles maybe, and the big transformations of people on a deep spiritual path.
Guided by the Buddha himself.
Right. We're looking for those little nuggets of knowledge about what real wisdom or power or freedom actually looks like,
Yeah.
and crucially, what it might mean for you listening today.
And these texts, they're just packed with vivid interactions, between the Buddha and different monks. You see all sorts of things.
Like,
Well, everything from pretty astonishing psychic powers and deep meditation to, very human struggles with things like vanity or maybe getting angry.
okay.
And we'll explore how real spiritual attainment shows up, often in ways you wouldn't expect, and how it kind of challenges our assumptions about what's important.
All right, let's dive in then. Our first encounter, it involves the Venerable Moggallāna. Now, he was one of the Buddha's chief disciples, famous for exceptional psychic abilities.
That's right. And here, he's alone, thinking about what noble silence really means.
And what does he conclude?
He figures it refers to dwelling in the second jhāna. Now, jhāna, for anyone unfamiliar, it's a state of deep meditative focus, very tranquil, where that initial buzz of thinking kind of stops.
Like settling into this really calm, focused state, getting past the mental chatter.
Exactly. But what's fascinating here is that even Moggallāna, this incredibly advanced practitioner, he notices that while he's in this state, these sort of perceptions and mental flickers connected to thought kept popping up.
Even in that deep state.
Yeah, it wasn't just simple meditation. It was a really subtle state he was trying to master, and there was still this faint mental activity going on.
So this is where the Buddha steps in.
Right. The Buddha, using his own profound abilities, appears to Moggallāna, gently but, firmly, tells him off a bit.
What does he say?
Something like, Moggallāna, don't be slacking about noble silence. Settle your mind in it. Make it one-pointed. Concentrate your mind in noble silence.
Wow, direct intervention.
Absolutely. It shows that direct, personalized guidance, even apparently across distances, using these, well, what they call supernormal powers.
And Moggallāna then confirms he was able to fully get there, right? With the Buddha's help.
Yes, he explicitly says, basically, if you want an example of a disciple helped by the teacher to attain great supernormal knowledge, that's me. It really highlights that mastery isn't just reaching a state, but refining it, living in it.
And sometimes needing that external push no matter how far along you are.
Precisely. It's a key point. Even at the highest levels, there's still refinement.
Okay, so from Moggallāna's control over inner states, let's shift to wisdom. The next encounter involves Sāriputta, another top disciple known for deep insight.
Right. And Sāriputta is contemplating, basically, if anything in the world changing would cause him sorrow, pain, distress, despair.
And his conclusion.
Astonishingly, there is nothing whose change would cause him that kind of suffering.
Wow. Okay, but does that mean he just doesn't care?
That's the natural question, isn't it? But no. And now to ask him, even the Buddha passing away. And Sāriputta says yes, even that wouldn't cause him sorrow.
How does he explain that?
He says he'd obviously reflect on losing such an incredible being, but the sorrow wouldn't be there because he'd completely, utterly eradicated the root tendencies of I-making, that sense of a fixed self and mind-making, clinging to things, and conceit.
So it's liberation, not indifference.
Exactly. A profound level of emotional freedom born from deep insight, not a lack of feeling.
Okay, so in another text, the Mahāmoggallāna, we see Sāriputta and Moggallāna together. Sāriputta sees Moggallāna looking serene and asks if he's been in a peaceful state.
And Moggallāna says, yeah, he had a coarse dwelling, which sounds maybe less than ideal, but also, he says, he had a Dharma talk.
A Dharma talk. With who, Sāriputta points out, the Buddha is far away.
This is where it gets really interesting. Moggallāna clarifies, basically, I didn't go to the Buddha with psychic power. He didn't come to me with psychic power.
So how do they communicate?
He says, but my divine eye and divine ear became purified to the extent of the Buddha. And the Buddha's divine eye and divine ear became purified to the extent of me. It suggests this deep, non-physical link.
Wow, like a shared perceptual space honed through meditation.
Something like that, allowing this profound spiritual exchange without physical proximity.
And what was the Dharma talk about?
Moggallāna asked the Buddha about aroused effort, and the Buddha defined it with this incredibly intense image.
Go on.
He said it's when a monk is so determined that they think, "Let my skin, sinews, and bones remain. Let my flesh and blood dry up. I will not stop striving until I attain what can be attained by human strength, human energy, human effort."
That is intense dedication, transcending physical limits almost.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it?
Okay.
And then Sāriputta praises Moggallāna, comparing others to mere pebbles next to Moggallāna's mountain-like power, saying Moggallāna could remain for an eon if he wished.
And Moggallāna praises Sāriputta's wisdom in return.
He does. It's a beautiful moment, these two spiritual giants recognizing each other's unique strengths. It shows that true mastery isn't about competition. It's mutually appreciative.
Right. So we've seen these internal states. Now let's look at how our perception of spiritual work can be, well, completely off base.
Yes, the next story is a great example. It's the Navabhikkhu Sutta, and it involves a new monk.
And the other monks aren't happy.
No, they complain to the Buddha. They say this new guy goes for his alms round, comes back, and then just stays quiet in his dwelling. He's not helping out with chores like making robes.
They basically see him as lazy, unproductive.
Exactly. But the Buddha, of course, knows what's really going on. He calls the monk over, understands his mind, and then tells the other monks, essentially, don't complain about him.
Why not?
Because, the Buddha reveals, this monk easily attains the 4 jhānas, those deep meditative states we mentioned, whenever he wants. And even more, he has realized that unsurpassed culmination of the holy life, nibbana, ultimate liberation.
So while they saw inactivity, he was engaged in profound inner work.
Precisely. The Buddha adds that nibbana isn't won by slack effort. This outwardly quiet monk is actually the most excellent man who bears his final body, having conquered Mara and his host.
Mara being not just a demon, but like all the inner obstacles, temptations, unskillful thoughts.
Right. And his host is everything that blocks liberation. It's a huge reminder that what spiritual work looks like on the outside can be completely misleading. True diligence might be invisible.
That really makes you think.
And this theme gets explored even more sharply in the next 2 discourses. They really challenge our biases.
Okay.
In the Sujata Sutta, the Buddha points out a monk named Sujata, describes him as handsome, good-looking, but then praises him for having reached the goal.
Okay, so handsome and attained.
Then, in the Lakutta-Kabbadiya Sutta, he points out Lakutta-Kabbadiya and describes him as ugly and ill-favored like a stump and despised by other monks. Pretty harsh description.
Wow, quite a contrast.
But immediately after saying that, the Buddha declares, this monk is greatly powerful and mighty. There is no meditative attainment that he has not previously attained. He dwells in nibbana.
So completely opposite appearances, same ultimate attainment.
Exactly. And the Buddha uses this analogy. Swans, cranes, peacocks, elephants, they all fear the lion, even though their bodies are different sizes. In the same way, among humans, a young person who is wise is great, not a fool who just happens to be physically large.
It's such a direct hit on our biases, isn't it? How often do we equate charisma or looks with inner depth?
All the time, probably unconsciously.
No.
These texts just shout that true power, true attainment has nothing to do with those superficial things. Beautiful or not, both achieve the goal. It's the wisdom inside that counts, not the package it comes in.
A really crucial message. Okay, next up, the Vissakkapanyakaliputta. Here, the Buddha observes Vissakkapanyakaliputta giving a Dharma talk.
And he knows how well Visakha is doing it, explaining, inspiring, gladdening the monks. His speech is fluent, clear, gets the meaning across, and importantly, without clinging.
Without clinging.
Yeah, like without attachment to the teaching itself, or the outcome, or how he's perceived. Just pure communication of the Dhamma, the truth.
And the Buddha praises him for this.
He says, it is good, Visakha. It is good. And then adds a verse, basically saying, people might not recognize a wise person speaking among fools, but they will know him when he teaches the deathless state, nibbana.
So speak the truth clearly, illuminate the Dhamma, uphold the banner of the sages.
Right. The good word is the sage's banner. It emphasizes that clear, impactful, non-attached communication of truth is vital, even if not everyone gets it right away.
Makes sense. Okay, our next story involves Nanda, who is actually the Buddha's cousin.
Right. And Nanda comes to the Buddha, well, looking pretty sharp. Perfectly folded robes, kohl around his eyes, polished alms bowl. He's clearly put some effort into his appearance.
It's kind of relatable, actually. Even when we're doing something meaningful, it's easy to get caught up in the personal brand, how we look.
It is, and the Buddha addresses it head on. He tells Nanda, essentially, look, as someone who's gone forth out of faith, it's not fitting for you to be doing all this, the robes, the kohl, the polished bowl.
So what is fitting for him?
The Buddha advises him, be a forest dweller. Eat only alms food, wear robes made from discarded rags, and live without attachment to sensual pleasures. Very direct.
Curbing the vanity, shifting the focus inward.
Exactly. And the good part, the text says Nanda actually did it. He changed his ways, followed the advice. It's a great example of that personalized guidance leading to real transformation.
Showing that even those habits can be shifted.
Definitely. And similarly, in the Tissa Sutta, we meet Tissa, another relative of the Buddha, his nephew this time. Tissa comes to the Buddha really upset, unhappy, dejected, crying even.
Why? What happened?
He complains that the other monks are verbally attacking him, giving him a hard time.
And what's the Buddha's take on this?
It's incredibly insightful. He tells Tissa, basically, Tissa, you are a speaker, but you are not patient with speech. He points out Tissa's own role.
Ah, so it's not just about what others are doing.
Right. The Buddha says it's not fitting for someone gone forth out of faith to be a speaker, but lack patience with speech. He advises Tissa to be both a speaker and patient.
Taking responsibility for his own reactions.
Precisely. And he finishes with this powerful verse. Why do you get angry? Do not get angry. Freedom from anger is better for you. For the destruction of anger, conceit, and hypocrisy, the holy life is lived.
So the path isn't just insights or meditation, it's actively purifying your character, especially how you deal with others and your own emotions.
Absolutely. Emotional mastery, self-responsibility, it's central.
Okay, let's look at another concept that gets redefined. Solitude. In the Theravada Sutta, there's a monk named Thera who praises living alone.
His definition seems straightforward.
Ah.
He says he goes for alms alone, comes back alone, sits alone, walks alone, physical solitude.
Sounds like living alone, yeah.
And the Buddha acknowledges, yes, that is a way of living alone. But then he offers a deeper, more complete version.
Which is?
He asks, how, Thera, is living alone fully perfected? And the answer is, here, Thera, what is past is abandoned, what is future is relinquished. And in regard to present existence, the craving for delight is well uprooted.
Ah, okay. So true aloneness isn't just about being physically by yourself.
Not fundamentally. It's an inner state. Detachment from past regrets, future worries, present cravings. It's about inner liberation, which you could potentially have even surrounded by people.
That completely reframes it. It's about the internal landscape, not just the external circumstances.
Exactly. Deep internal work.
Okay, finally, we have two related texts, Mahākappina Sutta and Sahayaka Sutta. In the first, the Buddha points out Mahākappina.
Right. Describes him physically white and thin with a prominent nose. But just like with Lakuṇkapaharya.
He immediately praises his inner attainment.
Yes. Great power, great might, no meditative state left unattained.
And the second text confirms this isn't unique to him.
Correct. In the Sahayaka Sutta, two companion monks, friends of Mahākappina, are similarly praised by the Buddha, greatly powerful and mighty, having reached the ultimate goal.
So it shows profound realization is attainable by others, too, through diligent practice.
Yes, and maybe suggests that good companionship, shared purpose, can support that journey. The Buddha says these monks also bear their final body, having conquered Mara and his host. They've overcome those inner obstacles.
So reflecting on all these encounters, it's clear that spiritual mastery is, well, really multifaceted. It covers everything from psychic abilities to unshakable calm.
It really does. This deep dive shows such a spectrum. You have Moggallāna needing that subtle guidance even in deep meditation, then Sāriputta with that incredible equanimity facing potential loss.
And that whole redefinition of solitude versus real inner detachment.
Yeah, and the message running through so many of these is that inner wisdom, liberation, it just cuts across outward appearances or social roles.
Like Sujata and Lakuṇkapaharya, the handsome and the ugly monk, both fully realize.
Exactly. Or that new monk, seeming inactive but deeply absorbed. And transformation is key. Nanda overcoming vanity, Tissa tackling anger. It's an active personal process.
And throughout, you really see the Buddha's role as this amazing guide. He just knew what each person needed, didn't he?
He really seemed to, offering tailored instruction, encouragement, sometimes a firm nudge, like with Moggallāna or Nanda or Tissa, helping them reach their potential.
It speaks to the power of that kind of personalized guidance for inner growth, that skilled hand helping navigate the inner world.
Absolutely. A master teacher at work.
So after digging into all this, here's something for you to think about. If physical solitude isn't the only way to be truly alone, and if outer appearance can completely mask inner greatness, what other assumptions, maybe about success or well-being or strength in your own life, might be worth re-examining after this deep dive?